10 Cats. What's cooking good looking? It's Heston Blumenthal. The Life of Ryan. It's Katherine Ryan. And their team captain, John Locke. And facing them tonight, double Paralympic gold medalist, it's Hannah Cockroft. He's short and curly. It's Josh Widdicombe. And their team captain, John Richardson. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 25% of people do their weekly online shop whilst in bed? I do. It helps me remember what we need. Meat, 2 veg, dumplings, a couple of baps. 83% of British people admit to stealing something from a hotel room. I stayed in a hotel the other day. I decided to throw caution to the wind, opened up the minibar and I downed all the bottles of bubbly. And then I woke up and realised I was in a travel lodge and all the shampoo had disappeared. 30% of Brits think it's acceptable to answer the phone during sex. It happens. Mum, it's for you. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most popular talking points. John's team, what do you think the nation have been talking about this week?
Ooh. Is it the X Factor?
Oh, there's a new TV show, Jimmy.
It's a brand new show.
They call it the X Factor.
Right.
And they get these singers, and it's too early to tell what's going to happen next.
Also, you use the word singers in inverted commas.
Yeah. I've stopped doing them, I just do it with my speech now. These singers, or professional crying penises. They're crying already. It's going to get worse.
It's not. They're not even crying when there's bad news. They're crying when there's good news. The guy Ryland. Have you seen this, Hannah?
Ryland.
The guy Ryland isn't a proper name as well. That's Ryan with. It's Ryan with an L in it for no reason at all. But last week he cried because he got through.
He didn't sort of cry though, because there were no tears. He just sort of went.
Sounds like me laughing. Let's take a look.
Rylan, it's such a big risk that I have to take it. And you're my fine up here.
Oh my God, are you serious? You promised me this ain't one time. We could have a right old laugh. We could have a right old laugh.
We've all been there. That is what I looked like watching Talisa's sex tape. And I love that Rylan, he said to Nicole, he said, I'm not crying at you. And he literally, it was a very offensive burst of anguish. He was crying at her, on her, in her a little bit.
I wouldn't drink the water around the X Factor. I mean, they put something in the tea, and you can get the most hard-hearted person who'll drink the tea and just go... I just saw a pigeon.
If there is a drink that makes you cry, it's almost certain that Heston made it.
Yeah.
It's a special type of tea that brings melancholy.
And it's actually made with melons and collie dogs.
Of course it bloody is, yeah. Yeah, it's just...
Don't they just call that, like, red wine? Isn't that what you drink to cry? I drink red wine and I bawl my eyes out for no reason whatsoever.
What have you got to cry about? All your dreams have come true.
You don't know what my dreams are.
Your sock drawer's immaculate.
Cardi. You got a cardi and people listen to you.
Yeah. Sometimes I cry because my dreams have come true.
Yeah.
You're like the new Ryland.
Did you cry when you were the best in the world at something?
No.
I would lose my shit.
All.
Not at all.
Like...
Well, can I have it then?
Yeah. Just want
Cheers.
one. Don't two.
I didn't know that we were meant to bring our gold medals with us.
I like the fact you brought both of them.
Well, you see, just in case you want to lick the other one as well.
Do you lick these?
I've already licked your... I've already... And you've
Whoa, finish that sentence.
I've licked Hannah's gold medal. And Jimmy was there at the time.
It was the night that you won. You came on Channel 4 after you won the... was it the 100 and 200 the same day?
No, they were a week apart, but I think it was...
All right.
Let's
Let's have a little look at Hannah in action.
And surely this is going to be just a question of how fast can she get close to the world record. She's being roared all the way. An amazing performance. Everybody is standing already. She's getting an ovation. The flashlights are going off. The only question is, what time will it be? Can she go close to the world record? Unbelievable performance. She held her nerve with aplomb, and once again, we are saluting a British champion.
Where'd you go? Where'd you go?
There's this company called Cash for Gold. I don't know if you've heard of it. You can get an envelope big enough, I think you're set for life.
Back to the X Factor. What else? Has anyone been watching?
They went to the judges' houses last week. There was this situation where they found a couple having sex in one of the bushes at Gary's house. And they said, what had happened? They said, oh, we were just having a picnic and got carried away. That's not a thing. If I'm having a picnic and get carried away, I have a second scone. That's what I do. Never do you go to Pepperami. Well, I'll see you in the bushes.
They might have found a flask of X Factor tea. I saw a bit of it, and Gary Barlow says to one of the contestants, like, who's going to buy your records? And obviously the contestants too nervous to say, they just went... But what they should have said was the same fucking idiots that buy yours. I think what's quite interesting about it is that surely by now the contestants must have sussed the show out. They all go, this is the most important, most special thing, most amazing, this is life-changing experience. You go, haven't you seen the show? Even if you win, by February, nobody knows who you are. At best, X Factor is a gap year from Argos. It's going nowhere. It's not going to change your life.
The names of the groups, one of them is called Union J, because they used to be called Triple J, but someone joined the group whose name started with G. So they thought Union J would be the best way to go. That doesn't explain it. And it would be a better name if you just called it, like, JJGJ.
Let's have a look at JJGJ.
JJGJ. They might as well call them A Slightly Different Direction.
Let's have a look and see if X Factor is up there. Yes, the X Factor live finals have begun. X Factor is very different this year. Oh, no, hang on. No, it isn't. Sean, Heston, Katherine, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
We're going to talk about the trains. The franchise for the North West train line, which is... You know, that's it, really. Everyone knows about it. They made a mistake with the franchises, with how they calculated their franchise. I mean, how many times do I have to say the word franchise before someone takes over from me and says something about franchises? They've got... Basically, Virgin had a franchise... Virgin had the franchise for the Western... The franchise for the Western thing. And then someone else got it. Now they don't have it either anymore. It's a bit like that episode of Thomas the Tank Engine.
With the fat controller.
Yeah, Gordon says he can take the fat controller's wife from Tidford Holt down to Knapford for the garden party and take the fish train to the docks in time for the ship leaving to the mainland. And all the other trains go, no, you can't. turns out they were right.
Very succinctly put.
The problem with this story is it's just too funny by definition. You don't need to... You just say West Coast train franchise and government miscalculation. You're already like, well, what's this, a Will Ferrell movie? It's the funniest thing I could ever contemplate.
I feel quite strongly. I had a bit of an incident with First Great Western. I don't know if this has happened to you. I ordered a cup of tea and...
Jesus.
It gets worse.
Finished,
and the woman gave me a cup of boiling water and a tea bag. As if she'd got them out and gone... well, I'm out of my depth with this one, I mean.
Was the water truly boiling, though? Because on an airplane, they won't give you boiling water, will they? They just make it a bit warm so you can't, like, chuck it back in their face for violence.
That's why they won't give you boiling water. The rest of us, they're fine with.
You can't actually boil water on an airplane.
You can't boil water on an airplane.
No.
How do you... What?
What?
Why can't... Well, because you didn't bring a kettle.
No, the pressure.
The pressure.
The pressure.
Oh, I'm too busy. Let's have a look and see whether this Virgin train U-turn is up there. OK, Johnstein, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
It's the US elections. The choice between two quite dull men who are terrible at talking. They had a debate this week, and they're just both terrible at actually talking. It's really hard to listen to them go, we got to good-rate the economy because if it gets any more badified, we're going to be saturated until, like, 2000 and later than now, because... don't really... There's just
You should throw your hat in the ring. You've got something. Those some good policies.
It's called Mitt Romney. Which
yes.
It's not a... Yeah.
You've really cracked to the very heart of the US debate, haven't you?
Mitt is not a name. No one's called Mitt. And I've had a good week because I convinced my girlfriend that it was short for mitten.
Mitten Romney?
Yeah.
Your girlfriend?
Don't. Mitt Romney is gaff-prone, and he once got in trouble because he travelled for 12 hours in his car with his dog attached to the roof rack. It's the only dog that's ever actually stuck its head into the window of a car during a journey.
That wasn't his fault, though, because to be fair to him, he asked the dog, how do you want to get to Ontario? And the dog went, ruff, ruff.
John Richardson, everyone. John Richardson. Good, I like it. Katherine, have you been following the American election?
Oh, Barack Obama and Michelle, his wife, are like the Jay-Z and Beyonce of politics. They're very exciting. Like, Barack Obama, he can sing, and he's, like, cool. And, you know, I experienced some climate change when I look at him, I'll be honest. Oh, yeah, like, when he talks about the national debt, my budget gap widens.
That was the least sexy euphemism I've ever heard. Anna, who would you vote for?
I have no idea. I've got things to concentrate on, haven't I? I've got another week off.
So what have you been concentrating on?
Well, you know, I was a little bit busy winning 2 gold medals, and I kind of had this week where I kind of just everyone talked to me for a week, and then I've been back in training for 3 weeks. It's been a little bit busy.
Again?
Yeah.
You've got 2 gold medals. It doesn't happen again for 4 years. Relax.
Also, you won by miles. You don't need to train.
They're all after me now. They're all chasing me.
Well, they were all after you then. They didn't catch you. Should we have a look and see whether the US election is one of the most talked about things this week?
Yeah.
Yes, the first American election debate took place last Wednesday. Obama's been described as a cross between Martin Luther King and JFK. Yeah, we get it. He's going to get shot. OK, Johnstein, what else have the nation been talking about?
The Ryder Cup.
Oh, yeah.
Europe, against all the odds, won the golf, beat the Americans, and they're just devastated by it. they just can't believe that
it's gone badly for them.
Yeah.
I had to listen to it on the radio because I didn't have Sky. I tuned in and Rory McIlroy's late, and they said the big news is Rory McIlroy has only just made it for his tee time. I know he's young, but that is taking the piss, isn't it?
His mum is so strict. If he misses his tea time, he's not allowed to play golf.
I listened to a bit of it, like Josh was saying, on the radio. And the weird thing is that golf on the radio is kind of a pointless experience. Because, I mean, you just hear them hit the thing, you go, whoosh, you don't even hear it land. And, like, you just hear, whoosh. But the weirdest thing is the commentators, they all start whispering. They start going, and he's about to take this shot, really needs to get this one to get back into contention. You're thinking, you don't need to whisper. You're the radio commentators. They wouldn't let you anywhere near the players. They're probably 4 miles away in a Travelodge watching it on Sky. And the reason they're whispering, they're supposed to check out at 12.
Shall we have a look and see whether the Europe winning the Ryder Cup is one of the most talked about things this week?
Yeah.
The most talked about thing. The next Ryder Cup will be held in Scotland, where golf originated. Even now, most people in Glasgow own a golf club, mainly for use in pub fights and hooking people's car keys through their letterbox. So, one more thing to get fingers on buzzers. Go on, what do you think?
There's a new dance craze sweeping the nation called the Gangnam.
All right, Grandad. What's it called again? What's the new dance craze in the discotheques?
These young scamps are doing a new dance that they call the Ginganguli, sort of.
Yeah, Gangnam Style.
Gangnam Style.
Have a little look. This is the new dance craze.
Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op aan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Op, 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 op aan Gangnam Style.
That is the most liked pop video ever on YouTube.
I really like it.
What's not to like?
I didn't expect how... It's when he puts his hands on his hips and his little legs stick out. That's my favourite bit. It's really fun, though, isn't it? I'm not one to absorb joy.
I think it's like he's riding a... What's he doing?
It's where you pretend you're riding a horse.
Apart from that bit where he looks like he's spinning a pizza.
That's lasso.
You're just obsessed by food.
I like to get questions right. What I think is good about it, and they said this, that when he died, Kim Jong-il's son would be a lot more relaxed. Open future for the people of North Korea, I think that's...
I can tell you it's not one of the most talked about things this week, but Gangnam Style has become one of the most watched pop videos of all time. But I still prefer the one where Talisa gives it to her boyfriend, Camden Style. That's it for part one. Join us after the break to see what else is in our top 5. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. We're trying to guess the most talked about things this week. Fingers on buzzers. Sure.
Is it the man who got his head stuck in the bin?
Tell me more about this story.
Ah, it's brilliant, because he's homeless and he got stuck in a bin. Everybody's happy except him.
Got a still. If you could try and take this seriously, it's an unfortunate gentleman in Aberdeen got his head stuck in a bin for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And passers-by, rather than going for help, took pictures and videos and posted them on YouTube.
Well, the reason they didn't rescue him was they realised that's the longest he's had a roof over his head for some time.
His friends, he said, have given him the nickname after this bucket head. That is a 2-fact story, and they've got one of the main facts wrong.
In fairness, a lot of his friends drink heavily.
what it's like? You look in a bin and you go,
No.
ooh. Ooh, that's down there, and you go in too far. Yeah, and normally you'd attach a rope to yourself. Someone else. He's just gone in there, seen something really juicy at the bottom of the bin, and just thought, I'm having that. I don't know. I mean, you could say it's wrong that you know, years ago, someone who was stuck in a bin, people would come and help, pulled them out. Now they leave them there and take photographs and put them on Twitter. But I think the modern thing is better than the old way. I think rescuing him, it would have been an anecdote for a small circle of people in Scotland. 30 or 40 people would have known about that story. They go, hey, Jimmy.
Yeah, Sean?
In the pub, hey, Jimmy. You see, I think a fella in the bin there. But now it's on Twitter, so millions of people around the world can enjoy him getting his head stuck in the bin. And he's already famous, because he's 52, he's the oldest man in Scotland.
Well, that's not one of the most talked about things this week. But last week, a homeless man in Aberdeen got his head stuck in a bin. What a bloody idiot. It's blue bins for heads. OK, come on, one more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers.
It's the Labour Party conference.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. It's been so exciting that the main story that's come out of it is that I read that Ed Miliband, when he was at school, he got given a Walkman by Ken Livingstone, which is a story so dull you wouldn't even tell it on Bullseye. Jim Boyne went, I believe you once met Ken Livingstone, didn't you? He went, yes, he actually gave me a Walkman. Oh. Well, that's very tedious. I hope you lose. He's just got no ideas. And all I'm saying is, he spoke for ages without notes. He spoke for ages without saying anything. I want to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. Well, good luck, because you can see it from space now.
You know, there's strength in numbers, and I think those siblings should unite. David and Ed Miliband, they're always pitting them against each other. Just be as one, like Jedward. You know? They could call themselves like Dave Ed, and they could have some style. You know, they could wear like Milibandanas and throw back Milibanter, and they could really spice it up.
They all look like people who, when they come out of the conference, they still leave their little lanyards on when they get into the hotel. Even though they know, there's a point on the train where they think, well, I'm not at the conference anymore, I should take this off. And I thought, this will be an interesting conversation starter in the bar. So, I see you've got a landlord. Yes, I've been at the Labour Party conference. Take it off, you dick. You're not there anymore. It's like their festival, like they wear them all year. Like, yeah, I've got all my festivals. Yeah, I went to all the conferences. I'm pretty important. Are you really?
You know that's all happened in your head?
Yeah.
None of that happened. You were so annoyed with a man on a train that you've imagined who's left his badge on.
You've just
that hasn't
this.
happened.
No, it's just classic. Nobody does that.
They do.
Nobody's bothered about any... Of all the things to get annoyed about, it's not like, and he didn't take his lamina off. Also, you're just a bastard. You left it on.
I genuinely believe, like, there's times when you're on a train and you see someone with their little thing hanging out and you think, oh, you want me to ask what that is?
No.
It was the same during the Olympics when they all had their caps on and their bags and they're like, yeah, I'm helping make the Olympics happen. Well, you're on a train now. It's not happening here, is it?
Are you having...
You're having a go at all the Olympic volunteers. That's what John's doing.
I'm not having a go at the ones who were volunteers and outside.
Could you do me a favour?
Yes.
Could you do me a favour? Could you put away your gold medals? Because
I'm sorry.
it's over now and it's
Yeah.
boring John.
Yeah.
Because John doesn't like it when people remember nice things they've been to.
I don't like
There he is, killing joy.
Gangnam Style.
Hey, brought it back.
I went to the Paralympics and I had my laminate. And I went for a meal, I went for lunch before... Oh.
You leave it on?
Well, the day before I'd forgotten it, so I thought, I'll put it on, I'll put my coat over it, that's fine. Took my coat off to eat, and then the guy came over and he said, oh, what's that? And I said, oh... He said, what's that? And I said, oh, I've got to be at the Paralympics in an hour. And he
That's
said...
a very interesting story, actually. I've got to be at the Paralympics. No, you're right, John. It is annoying, yeah.
If he'd taken his laminate off and lost it, he couldn't get in. The reason they keep it on is that's how they get in to do their job.
You left it on so that he would ask and you go, sorry, I'm doing a bit of TV work, apparently. It's really boring, but if you could bring the food quickly, because it's got to be on TV in like an hour, so anyway. Working at the Paralympics, yeah, it's pretty boring. I'm sorry you asked me about it. girlfriend as well, with your little lanyard and your girlfriend. And,
That's the real issue. People with laminates have relationships.
Yeah, I was just wearing a laminate in a bar. She just came up to me and said, "What's that?" "Oh, God, yeah, I didn't even know I had it. It's massive and it's really heavy." And when I took my coat off, I thought, "Oh, bloody laminate, I'll leave it on." What's that? It's just a laminate that points down at my penis. I've got a penis. Maybe you want to touch it and be my boyfriend.
Shall we have a look and see whether the Labour Party conference is one of the most talked about things this week? Yes, the Labour Party conference took place in Manchester last week. Ed Miliband is in the middle of an extensive makeover. By the next election, Mr Miliband will be taller, his voice will be less nasal, and he'll be called David. So those were the most talked about stories this week. But in other news, the late Jimmy Savile was accused of paedophilia last week. Jimmy Savile died last year. So why are these allegations only coming to light now then, now then, now then? And Adele's recorded the theme song for the new Bond film. The lyrics include, "Let the sky fall when it crumbles." And if there's one thing Adele knows about, it's crumble. At the end of that round, Sean, Katherine and Heston have 2 points. John, Hannah and Josh have 3 points. That's it for part 2. See you after the break. Welcome back to 8 out of 10 Cats. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here is your first one. Sexiest Celebrity Chef. Heston is a very acceptable 8th. This is just on sexiness.
Heston would be the most interesting to have sex with, wouldn't he? Take your clothes off, I'm going to go and dip my cock in liquid nitrogen. That's it.
Be multi-sensory banging.
Put these headphones in. Something spectacular is going to happen, and I want you to be able to taste it fully. Heston, you're renowned for cooking unusual dishes. These are all genuine dishes. OK, just talk us through some of these. Tell us what Sound of the Sea is.
OK, so the dish looks like the sand with sea vegetables on top, different types of seafood and seaweed, and with the sauce is frothed up, so it's like the waves lapping up against the shore. And we serve that with an iPod tucked into a seashell. And on the iPod, we've downloaded the sound of the waves lapping up against the shore and the odd seagull.
So it's like a fillet of fish from McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Now, this is not the only unusual thing you cook. Mustard ice cream.
Yep.
That's not really taken off, has it?
It did put that into the supermarket.
You put that in the supermarket?
Yeah.
Oh,
What was a trick?
Calf's brain custard.
Yes, that's for a TV show.
Was it any good?
Actually, calf's brains themselves don't taste so much. They're very creamy and pasty.
Yeah, I think it's a waste of a calf's brain, making custard out of it. I just like it raw, straight out of the calf's head.
Was that like a boiled egg?
Once you eat half of it, he calms down. I don't really do that.
OK, so sexiest celebrity chef. Who do you think? Who do you find the sexiest, Hannah?
Jamie Oliver.
Are you like a man with a big tongue?
Do you reckon his tongue's bigger than mine? I've got a pretty big tongue.
I don't know how we got to this conversation. I'm so glad we did. You've got a big tongue. Where's the... Show me... That's a pretty big tongue.
Did you just say, "You've got a pretty big tongue, where is it"? Yeah. I'd like to think it was Gino De Campo, because I get told I look like him. The Italian thief. Hey, I cook the pasta, I steal your things.
Heston, you must have met some celebrity chefs in your time. Who do you think sexiest?
Yeah, loads. You looking at me, Jimmy?
No, Heston. I did say Heston at the beginning of that.
Why are you looking at me, then?
Well, because you just said, "Are you looking at me?"
Was it?
I stared over there. That seems perfectly natural.
Well, I mean, make your mind up. Who are you asking the question to? You're asking Heston or me?
When I said Heston...
There's no point using his name and then looking at me. You're still looking at me. Stop looking at me.
This is like a fight in a pub. Are you looking at me?
Who are you looking
looking at?
Captain Birdseye. Is he a sex celebrity? He's sexy. He's sexy. You haven't got a choice when you're stuck on his island. Yes, you are sexy. Yes, you are sexy. I want to get on the boat. I want to go back home. Don't like the island, Captain.
Who's the sexiest, do you think?
Lorraine Pascal.
Lorraine Pascal is number 3. You just... Hang on, we mentioned her name and you just went...
Oh, I heard that.
Well, there are some sexy chefs, but people don't know their name to put them in a poll. Sophie Michelle's quite sexy, isn't she?
She was John's dinner lady.
There was a really sexy dinner lady at my school. I used to... Oh, well, now. I used to cycle outside her house and just sit there trying to look sort of wistful on a bike. I was trying to seduce a woman about 4 times my age, just on my BMX like that.
She probably thinks, didn't eat all this semolina. The guy in my school had an affair with the dinner lady. He had an affair with her. Went on a narrowboat holiday with her.
They probably picked a narrowboat because it's most like a school canteen, so she stood at the window cooking and he had to walk past everything.
That's the closest they can get to it. Like he's on the bank and she goes past from the narrowboat. Mashed potato into a traffic. She goes, see you at the bridge. Nigella's always going sexy, isn't it? She's got that show Nigelissima, which sounds like a yeast infection. She's always going... No, she might as well just go, like, I'm just going to plop one in the trifle. There you go. That's what you want, isn't it?
It's Nigella, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, the sexiest celebrity chef is Nigella Lawson. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we now have a proper joke. Nigella's so hot, she cooks everything on gas mark 4. Proper joke. Yeah. OK. Most annoying thing about sharing a house?
Oh.
That's your specialist subject,
Yeah.
Jesus. If anyone needs to be anywhere in the next half hour...
It's me, innit? It's genuinely me. Trying to live in a house like, tin foil, well, yeah, I'll buy it then. It's buzzing around like a little bee. I'm a penis to live with.
I did see your documentary on OCD, and you did look annoying.
I saw that show. I thought it was a bit of a mess. All over the place. I really like it.
Have you been sitting on that joke all summer?
Yes.
Totally worth it.
Thanks, dude. He said that. So West Coast then,
Yeah.
totally worth it.
Yeah, cowabunga, Sean. Most annoying thing about sharing a house, what do you think?
I think the most annoying thing is when your brother drops a knife on your foot. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah, I maybe think that's in a higher bracket than annoying.
It's all right. It's all right because I can't feel my feet, so it's all right. But,
The most depressed I've ever been was my flatmate was loudly having sex while I was downstairs washing up the 2 champagne glasses that he'd just drunk from.
Sounds like something from John's life.
I hope you shooed them upstairs as well. Now, I need to do this washing up. You go.
When I went to visit my dad, he and his girlfriend had one CD in his bedroom, and it was the soundtrack to Cats. And he ruined one of my favorite musicals, because when they would bang, they would just drown it out by playing that music.
It's a horny soundtrack as well, isn't it, Cats? And they all say, oh, well, I never a cat so clever as magical mist.
I don't like sharing a house. I don't even like sharing a bag of crisps. You know what I really hate? This is my sort of John's laminate thing, is, you know, when you're in a pub and you're sitting there and you buy a bag of crisps and someone just opens it on the table like it's a Hindu wedding or something.
Yeah, you know, Hindu weddings.
We don't have
With
all
the
the
crisps.
food that's beautifully arranged.
You know, with the Hindu wedding, with the crisps.
Just have some crisps. They're my crisps. I want to eat the crisps. They go, come on, it's a banquet.
Most annoying thing about sharing a house?
Tidying up after people.
That is the right answer. He was always going to get that. Yes, the most annoying thing about sharing a house is cleaning up after lazy housemates. Another annoying thing is when you hear your housemates having sex and you get that horrible feeling of cold glass against your ear. Oh, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Katherine and Heston have 3 points. Good. John, Hannah and Josh have 4 points. John, Hannah and Josh are tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.